Khan Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading his truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I actually want to, talk about, one of the traits of Esau, that was mentioned, after, you know, he was born. And what led me to making this video is because this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, Saturday morning we left early, and Sunday we came back at around 6 o'clock, in the evening. Me and a couple of brothers from GMS Holland, we decided to partake in a bushcraft course, which a bushcraft course basically means um, to go into nature, and try to live off your surroundings, to the best of your ability while, also being in harmony, with nature, man. Um, and during that course, we learned, certain survival techniques, how to use a knife, to basically woodwork, how to make a fire, how to use a compass, um, what to look out for when setting up a place that you're gonna use, to basically camp, that you're gonna use to bug out. Um, what else did we learn? Yeah, I think those were the majority of the things, that we learned, man. Also, how to cut up wood with an axe, how to saw wood with a special um, saw that you could basically have with you while backpacking and things like that. So basically, we did some sort of survival course, and we all really liked it to be out there in nature. And basically, the point that Jacob's trouble is ahead of us, led me to, initiate the option, to basically do a course to learn about the basics of survival, and get to see what it means, to be in those times while still in certain comfortable conditions. We still had access to food, toilet, everything, but we did live a little. We did, live a little bit like, for instance, The Walking Dead. They're them still using certain utilities, that they could find. Also, yeah, we learned how to purify water. We learned how to make a rope out of nettle. Yeah, I think those were all the things as far as I can remember, you know. But the majority of the people that you're gonna see out there are basically Edomites, man, and that's really within their spirit, you know. So the individual that gave the course, he was from Belgium, a very nice individual, who gave the course, who instructed us very well, was very informative in his information, was really open to asking these questions, and that's within his spirit, man. He is basically that cunning hunter and the man of the field, so their spirit is gonna, have a tendency, of course not all of them, but you know they have a tendency to really, like that, man. Also, when I used to do archery, I've done archery with the recurve bow, for a while, right before I came into the truth. And the only people that you see over there are Edomites. You know why? Because it's within their spirit. So this is Genesis chapter 25, verse 27, and the boys grew, which is pertaining to Esau and Jacob, which Esau are the so-called white people upon the earth, whose lineage goes back to Esau, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Jacob, are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And also, of course, those that are scattered among the heathen nations, looking like the heathen nations, but whose lineage does go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob according to the father's seed line. But the point is, Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field. So we understand that he has received the blessing of the sword pursuant to Genesis chapter 27. So he knows very well how to handle knives, axe, bows, and things like that. Utilities that are used to basically survive and hunt with. And also another thing that I actually want to show is when we go to the translations. Let's take the NLT. As the boys grew, Esau became a skillful hunter. He knows how to basically take down game, which goes into uh, the buck, the deers and things like that. The bison, basically the animals that are allowed to be shut down in America, especially. I don't know the laws over here in Europe and the Netherlands, but it says he was an outdoorsman, so he liked to be outside. He likes to spend his time outdoors in nature, and basically make his way, by using the surroundings, man. It says, but Jacob had a quiet temperament, preferring to stay at home. Um, Let me see what else it says. Yeah, so um, basically, this is what Esau likes to do, man. Bushcraft. Go outside, and trying to survive. You can make it as how I say it, as difficult for yourself as you want it to be, man. You can have a tent. You can make your own shelter. You can use a tarp. Um, you can use a um, how you say that? Um, Basically, let me see if I can find it. Mm, this is a tarp, hammock. I think it's a hammock. You can also use a hammock to sleep in. And you can take food with you or you don't. But in Holland, in Europe as well. We understand that that's the bottle and spitman. Nothing really grows here, so it's very hard for us to survive, in nature, man. And that's also one of the things that the instructor told us, like having to survive in Holland, having to survive in Europe, it's going to be very difficult, man. Very difficult. Why? Because nothing grows there, you know. So we learn how to make the fire with the fire steel. We learn to cut up the blocks of wood with the axe, both with the big one and the small one, like this one. Just having it pointed at the wood and then just gently hit it on the block of wood. We use also the fire that was created by the instructor in a controlled environment. We use that to make coffee, tea, also to cook on. We also used our own fires that we created, to cook on as well. So basically the basic, survival things that you would need, to go out there, and basically trying to survive for a couple of days and then go back to society, man. You know, the the principal things concerning bushcraft. You know. Oh yeah, we also learned how to make a shelter. By the way, one of the first things. And this reminds me of it because we made a similar one to this. Use um, two um, two sticks with an eye shaped with the Y shaped points. Intertwine them into each other, and then put down another straight stick, and then cover it um, with leaves. The instructor also told us that these are basically the best knives, that you can have for the cutting of wood, because the ones that you would see in the military, for instance, those are fighting knives. They are created to basically inflict wounds, but this one is very versatile. I mean, this one has a fire steel in it as well. You can use the top of the knife, to create the sparks with the fire steel, you know. And of course, we also understand that these skills that we learned, during the course, that's not gonna save us, man. It's not gonna, help us, to make it, because what we should be relying on is Yahweh Shem Shai during these times that are ahead of us, being in those similar circumstances. But it was a very good way for us, to get acquainted and to get the feeling of what it means to basically sleep in the woods and things like that. You know, this is Second Esdras chapter 16 verse 40. Oh my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle because there's a battle ahead of us, man. A spiritual battle that we have to fight. You know, and the entrance into the kingdom, is going to be a tough one. Because through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. Says, and in those evils, those bad times, which are ahead of us, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And to be a pilgrim basically means to be a traveler or, a wayfarer. So this is a pilgrim. It says a person traveling to a holy place. That's what it's used as well, concerning the meaning. But it also goes into a traveler. Someone that basically moves from place to place. When you do bushcrafting, for instance, you might be able to, take your camp and stay there for a couple of days before you move. Today also another instructor told us that there's even possibilities, to do a trekking course, which is very similar to the bushcrafting, but it takes, 3 days, for instance, in which every day you basically move sites, and in the times to come, we have to be like pilgrims, man. We have to be like travelers, you know, because we're not going to be safe nowhere, basically, in the flesh. There's always going to be people that want to move in a certain way, right? Esau is out there to get us. Other people trying to survive, don't really care about their neighbors. It's just survival mode for in those times, man. You see. So yeah, we got to be like pilgrims, man. Which, knowing how to do these things can still come in handy, man. Just like it says in Isaiah chapter 33, verse 6, knowledge and wisdom should be the stability of the time. That first and foremost is referring, to the scriptures, the scripture of Yahweh Shemel Shai, so that, we know what's going on, and we're not going to be shook up by anything that is happening, you know. But the same thing applies, if you know how to move in a certain way in those times, you're also going to be stable, man. You know, you're going to be more comfortable in a situation like that because first you know how to make a fire, and you know how to make a simple shelter. To just be protected a little bit more from the outside elements. You know. This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. So, yeah, having money is not going to profit you, in the day of wrath. And let me look up what the word riches goes into. It says valued possessions, money, property, abundance of means, state of having large or valuable possessions. So, valued possessions. Right now, valued possessions goes into money, cars, having certain substances. But in those days, in the time of Jacob's trouble, valued possessions is going to be water, food, you know, quote unquote medicines, um, having survival equipment or gear. That is basically a valued possession in those days. That's going to be worth more, than anything else, man. People wanna survive out there. You see, so where it says Proverbs chapter 11 verse 4, riches profit not in day of wrath. So it doesn't matter what you really have in the flesh, in the time of calamity, which the Heavenly Father is going to bring upon the earth. And Jacob's trouble is going to be a time in which nothing is going to be, like we know has happened ever upon this earth. But it says, but righteousness delivered from death. So believing in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, having faith, in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and that He's gonna deliver you. That is what's gonna deliver you from death, man, from death. And trying to, you know, um, follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Do the will according, to your to the best of your ability. Do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai to the best of your ability. You see, so this knowing all this is not gonna save you, man. But for me, it did show me like, hey, this is what it means to be out there, for basically one night, 2 days and one night, and of course we stayed up very late and had to wake up, around 7:30 to start with the breakfast. That's what really made me tired, man. But I think if you would um approach it more wisely, save your energy, go to bed early because next day you're gonna have to basically I say that get back at it again. And this is very tough, man. Gathering the wood, gathering, the utilities that you need, maybe fish, maybe hunt a little bit. That's gonna take up a lot of energy, man. So, of course, right now I'm tired as hell. But if you would distribute your energy better, things would, be less tiring right now. You know. But yeah, basically what I wanted to go into in this video is that Esau really is that outdoorsman that really knows how to survive, in the outside. Man, of course, when you're a military personnel, you know how to do this as well because that's what you train for survival, you know. And of course, Jake, Japhet, Ammon, Moab, you have them out there that also know how to do these things, man. But it is within the nature of Esau to be really, liking this, man. To be really digging this and doing this weekends and week outs, man. You know. So yeah, with that, I do hope and pray that this video was edifying. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Kokadash. Double honors to the Alba Apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading his truth and sincerity.